Hi, my name is Aurelie Rodriguez, and this is my final presentation for English 112. In this presentation, I'll be walking you through my final research project, the website I created to support it, and how it connects to the journal entries, assignments, and active reading notes I've worked on this semester. I've also shared some reflection of what I've learned about writing research and literature throughout the course. Okay, so let's start with my final paper. So my final paper focuses on Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. At first glance, the novel seems to be about government censorship, firemen burning books, people being silenced, but after diving deeper, I realized Bradbury was warning us about something even bigger. How people themselves can allow censorship to begin by choosing comfort and entertainment over truth and independent thinking. My main argument is that censorship in Fahrenheit 451 isn't just enforced from the top down. It goes from a society that slowly stops asking questions and starts avoiding discomfort. People begin to self-censor, forget the past, and lose their curiosity, all because it's easier to be distracted than to think deeply. I use quotes from the book, like Faber's line. It's not books you need, it's some of the things that once were in books. Then Beatty's speech about how we must all be alike. To show how this society gives up knowledge voluntarily, and I connected those ideas to today's world. How social media algorithms filter what we see and constant entertainment can make us compliant. Hmm, this is my essay. For research, I use several modern sources to show how Bradbury's ideas still apply. One form One was a 2022 article from The Atlantic that said algorithms don't want complexity, they just want attention. That reminded me exactly of shallow, fast-paced environment in the book. Another was a 2023 report from Common Sense Media that shows teens now spend over more than 8 hours a day on screens, mostly for entertainment. That's specifically really shocked me and helped support the idea of distraction that is still a big issue today. I also used a a article from the Washington Post who talked about banning books today. Banning books today can lead to loss of memory and empathy. All of these sources helped me see that Bradbury's warning wasn't just about burning books, it was about losing ourselves when we stop thinking critically. So I'll now show my website. Okay. My website is called Censorship in Fahrenheit 451. On the whole page, scroll down, I have this area right here. It takes you to all the topics of my website. Um, I have an introduction on the author and a short biography of Ray Bradbury. Here you'll find my argument broken down with quotes from both the novel and the modern sources. I made sure to include all citations and clear examples how this connects to today. This part of the site includes my personal reflection of how the process changed the way I think about censorship, memory, and media. This is just a video I included about why you should read Fahrenheit 451. And this is my final conclusion. I end it with today's modern society. It's my works cited page. And the interactive part of my website, it's just a quick quiz to see who you are most likely to react in the characters in the novel. There's the questions and the answers. And here is a small biography about me. Okay. Um, so up here, this is the assignments document. At the beginning of the semester, I didn't realize how much I would be writing, reflecting, and analyzing. But as the weeks went on, I slowly started to build a routine. I took notes, completed assignments, and kept track of my thoughts through journals and reading assignments and responses. Everything I did, whether it was a big or small, helped me work toward the final research from our presentation. This is my notes document. Um, Throughout the semester, I completed a variety of assignments, including weekly journal entries, active reading notes, and smaller writing tasks. All of the work was part of a larger process that helped me prepare for my final project. The collection represents everything I've done over the semester. I won't lie, there were times where it was tough to keep up, and I did fall behind a few times, but I kept going at the end. And I managed to push through and complete everything. Looking back now, I guess I could say I'm proud of the progress that I've made. So these notes I wrote here in the beginning, the first 2 weeks, I feel like I had to write everything down. Um, so I believe for my first 2 weeks were really, I put down a lot of information down. But it was good information that was going back. I was going back and forth with any assignment. I wanted to make sure that I was checking off all the boxes that needed to be checked off when I was doing short responses, essays, um, the small activities, especially my reflections. Um, these notes helped me a lot. Helped me not only to prepare for my final project and presentation, but they also taught me how to be an active learner. I learned how to break down complex information, how to write with purpose, and how to think more critically with what I write. Um, Throughout the semester, I completed major assignments um, and the assignments. Um, so, for example, I did an essay, my first essay I did with APA format, the species decline. This research paper explored how species decline is caused not just by extinction events, but by disruptions in the entire ecosystem. Using concepts like top-down effects or landscapes of fear, the essay argued that predators and prey are deeply connected and that protected habitats is crucial for maintaining ecological balance. It has criticized recent legal changes that has weakened the Endangered Species Act by redefining what counts as harm. The paper proposed stronger enforcement of legal protections and the use of wildlife corridors as effective conservation tools. And also another assignment that I've done is the topic essay 2 in the race format. Um, it's a short story by Kurt Vonnegut's Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. This essay analyzed Kurt Vonnegut's sorry for pronouncing that last name wrong. Short story as a satirical warning about the obsession with immortality. The story's dark humor exposes emotional and ethical decay that comes from trying to avoid death at all costs. The essay explored how the Schwartz family's misery reflects real-life debates about life extension, health span, and end-of-life dignity. Von Gute's use of irony and exaggeration critiques both family dysfunction and societal stagnation caused by overpopulation and the refusal to let go. So, looking back at all these assignments, um, the short stories, the MLA, APA essays, helped me sharpen my thinking and see connections between literature and the real world. Even though it felt like a lot of work over the semester, especially since it was cut short. I believe it was like we only have 11 weeks in total. It really paid off when I started to gather all the information that I learned throughout the whole semester and incorporate that for my final essay. So, um, so to close it off, um, this class changed the way I understand um, writing, research, and literature. So before this class, I thought writing a research paper was just about throwing quotes together and filling pages. But now I see writing as a way to make an argument, build conversation, and ask questions about the world. I learned how to use sources to support my own ideas, break down a big topic into something manageable, to think critically about what I'm reading, not just about what the story says, but what it means and how it connects to life now. I really also really appreciate how much it helped me become a more confident writer than I was in the beginning. In the beginning, I really wasn't as confident as I do now, but with all the knowledge that I've gathered throughout the semester, I believe that I've taken a good amount of information for me to use on forward. So before I finish, I just want to thank you, Dr. Thurley, for this course. I, I, I really appreciate the way this class was structured. The past courses that I've taken wasn't really like journal portfolio entries and having to um, gather all information all into documents. It was always like here's a topic and write about the essay and turn it in, and the professor would just like grade the grammar or just the essay in general and just continue on with the next. You really didn't feel like I had the opportunity to learn from from it, but just look at the mistakes and just keep moving on forward. Um, I really appreciate how this class was structured, especially how everything built up to the final project. It also helped me to stay focused even when I fell behind because there were some weeks where felt I felt like I was like a week and a half behind because I was wanting to put all the notes down, take all the notes and watch some of the videos and whatnot. And I honestly learned more than I expected about writing, research, and how to express ideas in a meaningful way. So, thank you for your feedback and your patience, and for creating a space where I felt like I could really improve. Um, so that's it. And with that, thank you for watching my presentation.